8 turnovers, now 9 turnovers, Ron, early in this ball game. Oklahoma has done what they wanted to do. Stay close, handle the emotion early. They're only down 2 at the 10-minute mark.
In the first 10 minutes of the ball game, several times, Coach Sampson has stood up right in front of us and has put palms down. He wants his club. He doesn't want to get into a harem-scarum, fast as we can go kind of game.
Well, they had a bad start on their own end. They've not been able to score the basketball as another missed shot. They're only 4 of 13 from the field. They themselves have 5 turnovers. They were early, but Oklahoma State has really let them stay in this ballgame.
Individual scoring, Montanati has 5, Atkins 4, and Alexander 2. And for the Sooners, Johnson with 2, Price with 4, and 3 for Avila. 2 or 3-pointer on the way, and count it for Newton.
They have Kelly Newton, good spot-up shooter. Kelly, Sooners take their first lead of the ballgame.
41% three-point shooter, and he knocks that one down. And for the first time, the Sooners lead this ballgame.
Ron, the Cowboys' last 4 home games have averaged 90 points a game. Now, you're talking about the 2 best defensive teams in the conference. Oklahoma wants this game in the 50s, maybe 60s. Oklahoma State, they'd love to play it up in the 80s.
Mason went down. He was short on the shot. He has had a very rough beginning tonight as Johnson gets it to go at the other end. And right now, Olmo is wearing crimson and cream of Oklahoma.
And this Cowboy fan group is stunned right now, as are the Cowboy players.
As we mentioned, the Cowboys led by as many as 7 early on. And then here came the turnover.
Nolan Johnson has done an outstanding job on Desmond Mason, forcing him into tough looks.
Montanati with the spin move. Not there. Over the back, Montanati. Second foul on him. 10th season at Oklahoma State. 13-8 against Oklahoma. And for his counterpart, Kelvin Sampson, he's 5-8 against the Cowboys. He told me in the locker room just prior to the game, I said, what about tonight? He said, teams in dark uniforms on senior night don't fare too well.
Well, they haven't been lately, but that may change. Obviously, today, UCLA went up to Stanford and won. His team is well prepared tonight. Cowboys have not played well early, but the Sooners have hung in there and have this lead.
Gottlieb with the penetration, and he was fouled by Renzai Stone, the first on him, and the 14th foul against Oklahoma. I would say right now that Kelvin Sampson has got to be smiling inside because he really has gotten the tempo going in his direction. It didn't start off that way, John.
Exactly right. It started off a 9-2 ball game. Oklahoma State made their first few shots. Oklahoma couldn't make a basket and had a lot of turnovers. Then all of a sudden things changed. Oklahoma stiffened their defense. Oklahoma State started throwing it away, and the Sooners kind of clawed back into this thing, and really the Cowboys looked a little more frustrated.
Oklahoma State 0 for 4 from the free throw line. And Gottlieb gets the second one.
Well, Gottlieb only 43% foul shooter. Don't expect him to make a whole bunch.
About to go under 8 minutes. Stolen by Mason.
What has happened, though, on any Cowboy steal, they have not been able to convert into easy breaks. Sooners have done a nice job getting back, making the Cowboys score in a half-court offense.
Weber high off the glass, one of the 7 seniors on this ball club.
And all 5 seniors on the floor, 5 of the 7 are on the floor for this Cowboy team.
Tie ball game, and now here comes the crowd again.
Eduardo Najera, 0-3 so far tonight, has not had very easy looks.
2 rebounds, and that's about it for him.
Boy, good defense by the Cowboys.
Johnson. Avila prepares to check back into the lineup. Montanati against Stone, and that's going to be a push against Stone and his second. And now for the second time in the first half, Montanati and Stone have words.
Well, Montanati, again, the emotion of senior night, Montanati has had a few words for a couple of Sooner players.
So we'll take a break. 7:03 left until halftime, and this is what tied it up right here. The senior, Alex Weber from Searcy, Arkansas.
Yeah, hi. I need to transfer.
Things start happening. Sooners have clawed back, and now we're going to have a great ball game.
Kelvin Sampson, as we mentioned before the ball game started tonight, as you take a look at the numbers and a summary of what has happened really in this first 13 minutes of play, Oklahoma wanted to calm it down, slow it down, and not play in any sense the way the Cowboys want to have this game go tonight.
Well, neither coach will be happy at the turnover mark. 7 for the Sooners, 9 for the Cowboys. Those things do happen, though, in these emotional rivalries.
And we keep talking about that, but in this series, the Bedlam series always has a lot of emotion, but there are 7 Cowboy seniors tonight playing for the last time in this arena. That 3 off the mark. 1 and out for Oklahoma State.
Continue to watch the matchup of Nolan Johnson guarding Desmond Mason. Outstanding job so far denying Desmond the basketball.
Oklahoma State now 6 of 15. Mason is 0 of 4. 40% shooting for the Cowboys and 37.5% for the Sooners.
And so far, no easy opportunities for the Cowboys in this building. Again, their last 4 home games, they've averaged 90 a game. They like to get it up and down and take some easy looks.
Price, and it's blocked by Gottlieb from behind. The outlet pass to Montanani, and he was fouled. He'll go to the line for a couple. Newton is a man who hustled back down floor. And what's so important about this for Oklahoma State? Well, if they win and Texas wins, they are tied in records, but they will be the number 2 seed. Texas will be number 3.
You take a look at Gottlieb, eyes up, head up, and this is why he's one of the best in the country leading assists. Surprising, he makes a block on the ball. He has 2 blocks tonight, which doubles his total for the season.
Newton with the foul, his first.
And there you see the problems at the foul line for this Cowboy team.
Back to the seeding story. If Oklahoma State wins, they would have a sweep over the Sooners. Texas has split with the Sooners, and that is the reason. That would be the tiebreaker should the Cowboys and Texas both win and finish with identical marks as far as heading to Kansas City next weekend.
And important for Oklahoma to win. If they were to lose tonight, then they've got to sit and watch Kansas, Missouri tomorrow. They could go from a 4th seed all the way down to a 5th seed and then have to play on Thursday if Kansas can win that game in Lawrence tomorrow.
Yep, that format is the first 8 play. The 4 games on Thursday. The first top 4 draw a bye.
Cowboys have extended their defense since the timeout. Eddie Sutton cannot be happy so far with how these Cowboys have played.
Newton for 3.
He will make you pay the price if you leave him wide open. That one was in and out.
Trying to go to Montanati inside. He's working against Nahara. That's a pretty good battle in there right now. Montanati with the turnaround. Just a little bit short. About to go under 5 minutes left in the first half of what has been a lot of defense. A lot of turnovers. First foul on Gottlieb.
Well, you see the move, the aggressiveness by the freshman Hollis Price. Now, Hollis did not score in the last meeting with this Cowboy ball club, but since then, last 5 games, he's averaged over 11 points a ball game, has been solid, has been pretty good with the basketball.
This arena was opened in 1938. And as I said, the last in Gallagher-Iba as we know it. Nahara puts up an air ball, and he's still 0 for the night. That one's off the mark. Alexander with the rebound. Nahara's exact numbers 0 for 5.
Well, the 2 stars, Nahara and Mason,
pressing a little bit, aren't they?
Not on the board yet.
John Zien is blocked. Nahara and Avila both got a piece of that one. Boy, nice stop and start by Raymond. Pitches it out to the wing, and the 3 won't go as Nahara will battle for the rebound. And Oklahoma with a fresh 35. Mason says, this one's mine.
Oh, my.
This is my house.
Well, he watched everybody else just wrestle for the ball, and Mason just went above him that time. Let's see if they can get him involved in the offensive end.
Mason fouled by Avila.
Kelvin Sampson wanted to travel. As Mason made his move, you knew he was going to try to find a way to score. Second personal foul on Avila. Take a look at Desmond. The spin move here. Now this is where they want to travel. 1, 2.5, maybe.
He's at home.
Exactly right. About a 75% free throw shooter. 18.5 points a ball game, and this is a guy that can simply explode, especially in this building. 31 against Kansas, 30 against Texas here. Spectacular year that he has had.
If you had told him coming into this ball game tonight for his final game that he wouldn't get on the scoreboard until the 4:27 mark, he probably would have argued with you.
I'm sure he would. He'll have some arguments from here on out, though. I think he'll put some numbers on the board. Remember the game down in Norman early in that second half when the Cowboys had a big lead. We're in the 23 seconds. He picked up his second, third, and fourth personal foul, which put him on the sideline. Take a look at the three-point field goal. Oklahoma relies on the perimeter game much more than the Oklahoma State.
So the Cowboys now with a 6-0 run. Johnson off the Nahara screen. Banks it off the glass nicely.
Well, how valuable has he been? Last 5 games, almost 13 a game. Solid around the hoop. Not a big outside jump shooter.
And is shooting about 64% in conference play, which obviously is incredible. Mason, nope, it's not there.
Nolan Johnson once again on the challenge to Desmond. Has not been able to shake it.
Nahara tipped it, got it back, goes on the floor. Oklahoma State says the possession error. Let's take a timeout. 3:34 left until halftime. 17-16 as you look at Nolan Johnson with the left hand, kisses it off the glass.
The 2000 Seville STS. More than just a pretty face. Enhanced with StibiloTrack 2.0, it handles superbly on dry roads, wet roads, and outperforms BMW, Lexus, and Mercedes-Benz. On ice, Seville STS, sleek styling and powerful control. The power and the fusion of design and technology. Cadillac.
Mom, Dad, a 37-year-old that lives at home should pay rent.
Great, Mark.
But I want airline miles. Or points.
I don't understand.
My rent would earn me airline miles. And with points, I could upgrade to, like, grandma's room.
Like a rewards program.
Whatever.
Yeah, what does this look like, a Holiday Inn?
More ways to collect and redeem points than any other hotel program. That's today's Holiday Inn.
Being a cashier, I know that people like her have other places they'd rather be. And other places to spend their money. But at least we guarantee she won't have to spend it.
The amazing thing is Oklahoma only shooting 30%.
Well, and defensively, obviously, the Cowboys want to focus their work on Eduardo Nahara. Montanati doing a nice job getting around the lower end, forcing him to throw it inside. There's a help defense. It is rough. It is a rivalry. It is senior night, and everybody on the floor. But Eduardo Nahara scoreless so far. 0 of 4 from the field, 0 of 2 from three-point land. Desmond Mason struggled himself, his 2 points from the foul line.
Newton prepares to check into the lineup. Nahara, Price, Avila, Johnson, and Newton, the 5 on the floor for the Sooners. Mason, Montanati, Johnzian, Alexander, and Atkins, the 5 for Oklahoma State.
Now the Cowboys in their half-court offense really, Ron, have not set good enough screens to allow their shooters, Atkins, Alexander, or Mason, to get open.
There's another Cowboy turnover. That is 10. And Eddie Sutton is just shaking his head down the way.
Well, 17-16, 3 minutes left. Obviously, the Sooners are happy by the pace, happy by how they ran that half-court set. They get their score down low out of the timeout. They run a set play, and Eduardo Nahara, point blank at the basket, well executed.
So he gets his first point at the 3:08 mark of this opening half. You watch him go underneath, get it, and late getting over there.
Solid screen by Kelly Newton. Good back screen on Montanati.
So a 3-point play, and with that, the lead 19-17.
Boy, look at the attention that Mason will draw if he gets it close to the basket.
Alexander.
Well, one of the shooters leads the Big 12 in three-point shooting. If he can get a step, he will release at 5 points so far tonight.
Joe Atkins admonishing his team, saying let's play defense, and then he is exemplary with his defense. And he kisses it off the glass to get it to go.
Well, terrific play, individual play by Atkins defensively and then on the hoop.
Johnson left alone, 18-footer.
Well, they're going to whistle it off. Looks like Desmond Mason picked up a foul. Well, take a look at the jump shot. Glendon Alexander, Kelly Newton. You can't jump by a shooter, and Glendon is a guy that can get it going here defensively.
And as I said,
Kelvin Sampson wasn't happy. He thought Hollis Price got slapped. Now, what you have to be, Hollis Price, is a freshman. In this kind of situation, you have to be extremely strong with the basketball, no matter what class you're in.
Yeah, no one ever comes up and says, "Oh, you're a freshman." Excuse me.
Take a look at Eduardo's numbers. Impressive all season long. Plays with a number of injuries also.
He now has 5 points. And it is a one-point game, 22-21, going under 2 minutes until halftime.
And you know, Ron, in this kind of contest, the officiating will not call the little touches and grabs.
Montanati with a very nice move. He has 8. Cowboys trying to get a spurt going. They had one early. Oklahoma came back. Then the turnover set in.
Yeah, looks like they got double foul. Avila and who's that? John Ginn over there.
Coming up on the courtyard by Marriott halftime report. John Saunders and Digger Phelps standing by. Shocker at Stanford today. Arizona upset and Big 12 bubbles. Right now it would appear there are none.
Be hard to say. They'll probably talk about Missouri. Missouri with 10 wins in this conference. This conference with a high RPI. Pretty good number of wins.
17 total, 10 in the conference. Double foul as you got from John. Nahara fouled, and that's going to be Montanati's third. And I'll tell you, Coach Sutton is really, really upset.
The double team. Nahara spins and absolutely has nowhere to go. And this is why Eddie Sutton will be frustrated. The whistle wasn't blown there on the hold. Now it's blown on the shot. If there's a foul, it's probably John Zien and not Montanati.
No, you're exactly right. And plus the fact, if you're going to let him play, you could see that Nahara warded him off with his left hand to make sure he couldn't defend, and so he could catch the pass.
If they don't blow the whistle on the hold and the grab, usually the whistle doesn't blow on the shot unless there's a slap, and there wasn't anything there.
So 3 fouls on Montanati at the 134 mark. And all of a sudden, now they have said that John Zien with the foul. That's 3 on him. Big E, man on the spot here.
Yeah, Montanati more potent on the offensive end than John Zien.
Godley for 3. Hello. Mark it down. Put it in the time capsule.
Well, when he makes them, that's usually a good sign for this Cowboy team. Does not shoot many out there. Does not make many at all. Again, the Sooners patient offensively. They have controlled tempo.
Mason, with great anticipation, knocks it out of bounds. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Price will pull the trigger on the sideline. Gerald Boudreau, the referee tonight. Wally Tanner and Kerry Sitton of the umpires. Shot clock is now at 10. Price with the bounce pass and Mason, I guess, touched. Now that should be a fresh 35.
He kicked it. They're going to give him a fresh 35, and Kelvin Sampson wants a 30, and he'll talk it over.
So timeout called by the Sooners. It will hold it right here with 44 seconds remaining. And a reminder, Championship Week presented by 7-Up tomorrow on ESPN Southern Conference Championship, 12:30 Eastern for the Bible Center, Greenville, South Carolina. Appalachian State against College of Charleston. Ohio Valley Conference Championship, 2:30 Eastern, Gaylord Entertainment Center in Nashville, Tennessee. Ron Franklin, John Sunvold, glad to have you with us tonight from Stillwater, Oklahoma. The Bedlam Series, well, in this part of the world, you know for sure what it means. 196th meeting. OU leads at 113-82. Cowboys lead at home, but the last 4 meetings shows you what can happen.
Well, last year Oklahoma won the 2 regular season. Cowboys won in Kansas City, and then they won earlier this year, February 12th, you can see, in Norman after building that 20-point lead early in that first half. Good pass.
Johnson, great job by Weber, and a travel called on Oklahoma.
Well, good cross-court pass. Nolan Johnson might have had about a 12-foot jump shot, elected to go into the bigger Weber. Good job by Alex holding his ground.
Alex in the game, he started it tonight. As we mentioned, he's one of the 7 seniors. He caused the 10th turnover by the Oklahoma Sooners in this first half. And, of course, John Ziena having to go to the bench with that 3rd foul.
There's about a second difference between the shot clock and game clock. It is close. About 1 second only.
13 seconds on the shot clock. Now it's at 10. And here comes the play in motion.
Tried for the lob. Good help by Stone defensively.
Montanati couldn't get it to go. Oklahoma 2 seconds down to 1. Lost the ball. And we are at halftime. Halftime with the score, Oklahoma State 27, Oklahoma 23. Now let's send it to John Saunders and Digger Phelps with the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. If you are the coaches in this game, you go to the locker room, you start trying to look for positive things. If you're Kelvin Sampson, you just say, hey, we're within 4.
Contributed to really the not-so-good play.
Yeah, Ron, I think on senior night, you worry sometimes about the emotion being on the negative side because you're too hyper and most teams come out and fire it up and do a good job. Oklahoma's got to be pleased, not with the turnovers, but the fact they've held in this ball game. And you take a look at the first half stats, Oklahoma's not shot the ball well. And when you go down and look at the 1 for 9 3-point shooting, they rely on that. Their turnovers. Oklahoma only averages about 12 a game. Oklahoma State only about 14. So I think both teams will settle down and play better the second half.
Those first half stats brought to you by DiGiorno.
Cowboys stay. Traditional man-to-man defense. Nahara, so tough to guard on the low block. Good help by Weber.
And they got the double over there quickly. And Raymond back to Johnson, and he knocks it down to 2, just inside the arc.
Yeah, good penetration by Raymond. Johnson that time simply caught it and shot it versus putting it on the floor and going back into the traffic.
So many people talk about Price and Raymond and Nahara, but Johnson is the unsung on this team as Nahara comes up with a steal. Pass intended for Montanati in the corner.
Joe Raymond scoreless in the first half. One of their players, second leading scorer, about 15 points a ball game.
Price with the bouncer. Quick turnaround by Nahara. It's not there, and it goes.
Well, you mentioned the quick turnaround. The reason is, as he's held the ball, he's getting double teamed. Smart move.
Gottlieb at the other end.
Now you can tell what Oklahoma wants to do with Doug Gottlieb. They play off him. They want to make him finish at the rim. That time he did.
Well, he's got his average. 6 points on the night.
Surprising, only 2 assists that first half.
You see already the touches by Nahara. That's going to be a travel by Stone. But they have already shown they want to get inside to number 21 and let him try to do his magic.
Well, you want the defense. If the ball can go to your best player, put it in his hands, make the defense adjust to what that player does. And if they're going to double team him, then someone's going to be open. Stone made a good move. He traveled. If he was more patient after the ball fake, he had an easy layup. Gottlieb likes to go left off the dribble, and you'll see Raymond try to push him right.
Well, he almost took another 3. Hit one in the first half.
Good recovery by the Sooner Ball Club defensively.
Johnson went down. Montanati. And he'll work his way to the hoop. Tough hoop. Double figures for him. 10.
And this crowd early in this game was into it, but have not been able to get back in this game. Now they're trying to make some noise.
Price. Well, when he gets it on that baseline, somebody better cover him, because he's going to get there and get there quickly.
And I will promise you, knowing Coach Eddie Sutton and watching his ball clubs play for years, not happy that a guy can dribble it from the corner, lay it in, and no help from the weak side or strong side.
Mason.
And notice the pace. Sooners take a look, and then if they don't have anything, they back it out, run the half-court set. Very efficient on the half-court end.
If you were not with us in the first half, Mason is now 0 of 6 from the field. He has 2 points. Those came at the charity line. So Mace, obviously things not going the way he had planned on this senior night. Almost 19 points a game during the regular season. But you can see a little, actually the body language not real good there.
Well, they haven't allowed him to get any easy baskets. Desmond's the kind of an emotional player. If he can get out on the floor, get a couple layups, couple dunks, couple open jump shots just on a transition, then he becomes a different player.
Gottlieb. His second 3 of the night. Oh, they say it's a 2. I beg your pardon.
I think they'll continue, though, to allow him to shoot. The Sooners will. Just put a hand in his face.
Stolen by Atkins.
They have numbers, 3-on-2, if they center the ball.
Pulls up and shoots a 3, and Mason knocks it good pass. Gottlieb to Montanati.
That's what Doug does best of all. The sleight of hand, knows where his teammates are.
ESPN and ESPN2, home of the Women's NCAA Basketball Championship.
I need my space. Well, you know what? I need my space, too. So you can just say goodbye to your Joy Luck Club, Lilith Fair CD, Self-Help Titanic, Sleepless in Seattle.
At half.com, you can sell all your unwanted stuff.
Bye-bye.
All for
5:29, just over 15 to play.
Welcome back. We are talking to the man who discovered 10-10-220. Now, Professor, did you ever dream it would be such a tremendous hit?
I never had a moment's doubt. After all, a 20-minute call for only 99 cents. Think of it.
Yeah. At my house, we dialed 10-10-220. We get all our calls up to 20 minutes.
35-29, some of the ceremonies at halftime. Mr. Iba's seat up in the southeast corner of the stadium after he retired. This is where he sat. They took it out. They're going to honor him in the new building. They're going to put those in a place of prominence. This is the Spirit Cup. Terry Don Phillips, the athletic director, has it open. They raise the roof with noise. Then he's going to put the lid back on, and when they open the new arena, they're going to open that thing and supposedly let that same emotion come out. Hank Iba, by the way, if you did not know, 36 years, the coach here at Oklahoma State, commonly known as Mr. Iba. 655 wins, 13 league championships, and 8 NCAA appearances. Won the championship in 45 and also in 46. Atkins loses it. Turnover caused by Price, and Avila at the other end couldn't convert.
And the Sooners got exactly what they wanted, to steal, but they didn't convert on the other end.
Weber, and you see they play off him much akin to the way they play off Gottlieb, because you don't think you're an offensive threat.
Weber's not going to look to score unless he's point blank inside the lane. And Nolan Johnson has done an outstanding job on Desmond Mason. Desmond has to get himself involved offensively.
Shot clock is at 5. Now at 4. And Weber misses the shot. Ran right over the top of Price, and Price is still down on the floor. Price just now getting across midcourt.
Well, Hollis not a very big fellow, only 6'1", about 165 pounds.
And a jump stop, but he proved that the spill didn't hurt him.
Solid night so far for Hollis Price.
Got 8 points.
Another turnover.
Atkins maybe in too big a hurry. Dribbled it off his knee. And a timeout is called by Oklahoma State. Shell will take points from the free throw line, and that's it. And yet his ball club is winning by 4.
Well, they're hanging in there. I mean, they have not played well offensively, and totally frustrated is Eddie Sutton. That's why he called a 30-second timeout. Not happy with how they're trying to take care of things. Give Oklahoma a lot of credit to Orion. Not an easy night to come into Stillwater to play a game.
Left alone in the corner. Count the 3. No, they say 2. J.R. Raymond, the sophomore out of Gastonia, North Carolina, averages almost 15 a game. Nahara with the foul. His first. As you look at the standings, Iowa State has won. They will be the #1 seed in the conference. Texas has won. Oklahoma State, if they win, they will be tied with Texas, but they'll be the #2 seed because in head-to-head competition with Oklahoma, they will have won twice. Texas split. There's the 3 by Alexander.
And if Oklahoma can win tonight, they're #3 seed.
Texas would be #2, and then down the way, some interesting things happen.
Yeah. A lot riding on this, the seedings for conference. And Oklahoma knows if they do not win tonight, then they sit and watch Missouri, Kansas tomorrow. If Kansas can win, Oklahoma loses. Kansas jumps to the #4 seed, so they would have Thursday off. If Oklahoma wins tonight, then Kansas and Missouri tomorrow are playing just for the 5th seed between the two.
Montanati picks up his 3rd foul, so now he and Johnson both with 3. But this one's a long way from over, and the home court has not been quite as big an advantage as most thought it would in this Bedlam Series meeting tonight.
Well, we talked earlier about the fact that Oklahoma State has just grown accustomed to blowing teams out on this court. Last 4 ball games, they've averaged win by over 35 points.
Avila throws it away. The turnover should have been a turnover earlier because Heskett walked. John Zien reach in and a foul on Heskett. 2nd on 10.
Well, we talked about, well, the physical play. Take a look inside. Eduardo Nahara being held and ridden on the back. Montanati got away with one and then makes the interception.
Talk about the 36 years that Mr. Iva was the head coach.
What a play.
Inbounds play, perfect for John Zien, and there was a foul as well.
John Zien set a crushing screen on Hollis Price, but Renzai Stone, lack of communication, or Victor Avila, excuse me, lack of communication. Take a look at the screen right here by John Zien. Now, because of lack of communication, Hollis Price is going to stay with his man. Avila didn't say anything. He jumps out. Doug Gottlieb, the guy who takes the ball out of bounds, the reason in, he sees the floor so well, puts it right on the money.
14 fouls against the Sooners as Heskett picks up his 3rd. He has to come to the bench in a 3-point play, and the largest lead of the night by Oklahoma State, 8 points.
Sooners need a good possession.
Nahara for 3. Well off the mark.
Eduardo's strength has not been shooting the jump shot this year.
Well, that could turn into a really ill-advised shot because all of a sudden the Cowboys could put it into double figures.
And when Mason goes to the post, Nolan Johnson likes to front him at times. And when they brought Montanati up the top of the key, Montanati had Mason over the top if he throws it to the rim. You get it by the rim, Desmond Mason's going to make the play.
The one thing that Oklahoma State wants to maintain in the new arena is Montanati kisses it off the glass, and he'll go to the free throw line as well. And a technical foul has just been called. I don't know if it's Nahara or Montanati who got it.
Well, Calvin Sampson wonders. I think everybody's taking a look. Eddie Sutton off the bench. Now Montanati drew the contact, made the basket. And they will have a discussion at half court. Ron Montanati's played with a lot of emotion, has played well tonight. 14 points, but he's also been very verbal. Very vocal to the Oklahoma team.
We know that Nahara picked up the foul, the hack. Now, who was the technical on? That's what Gerald Boudreau has not told us yet.
Kelvin Sampson uses this moment to bring his team over. Rally the troops. You're now down 10. And he has a very tough-minded ball club.
The crowd starts the chant of sit down Calvin. Calling him Calvin is Kelvin.
That's just the drawl in this building.
We have a double technical foul.
Double technical.
Number 30, Brian Montanati. That will be his 4th personal foul.
Montanati, and that's his 4th.
And a technical on 21, Eduardo Nahara.
Eduardo Nahara also with the technical.
Hey, Ron.
He is 3rd.
And, Ron, my opinion about double technicals, that's about useless call. You can easily grab 2 guys as a referee, take them to the sideline, and just say, I don't want any more of it. I mean, both guys, the emotion of this ball game, you have a rivalry. End of the season, they're playing for positioning of a tournament. But to give both guys a technical, it doesn't make sense to me.
What you do is you wind up changing the ball game.
Well, and you know, there wasn't much going on. Obviously some words, but it didn't last. I mean, they both said something, and you know, again, a good official will walk over and say, hey guys, knock it off. Let's keep playing. Already blew the whistle once. Montanati has been emotional. Maybe that's a taunt, and then a little push. I don't know. Two seniors, been at war for a long time. Understand the competition.
Difficult thing about that now, Montanati with 4, Tria Nahara. Mason, he goes down hard. Johnson really tough on him defensively on that play.
And watch, Gottlieb likes to go with the left hand. Unusual. Right-handed ball player. But when he goes to the lane, he likes to go to that left side.
Andre Williams in the lineup, number 40. Shot clock is at 10. And a whistle away from the ball.
Well, Nolan Johnson is going to pick up the foul for holding on Desmond Mason. It's been a very physical night. Mason and Johnson have gone at each other. And Nolan Johnson has done an outstanding job of, I think, frustrating Desmond. Desmond trying to push and get position, and here's the hold. You see the push and the shove. And well, they got Johnson with the first hold.
17 fouls on the Sooners with 11:44 to play.
And Cowboys with only 2 personal fouls.
Mason, this is the only place he's been perfect tonight. He's 3 of 3 from the field. He is 0 of 7.
And most good players, though he has struggled, Ron, will still want the ball down the stretch. And if you make hard moves, you make that team make adjustments to you, the way you're going to play.
Got them both. We'll take a break. Largest lead of Coast Conference Championship in Toso Pavilion, Santa Clara, California. Ron Franklin, John Sunbowl coming to you from Stillwater, Oklahoma. And the Cowboys right now trying to close this venerable old building with a very successful senior night. The place that always went by Hank's House of Horrors when Mr. Eibel was here.
Well, Oklahoma out of the timeout. First half, couple times out of the timeout, they got Nahara on the low block and got him the basketball in a single coverage. We'll see if they can do that now.
Great hand for Gottlieb as he left. He's got 8 points on the evening. Atkins back in the lineup replacing him.
Boy, Raymond had Nahara on the block. Has to give it to him early.
Williams picks up the foul. It's his first. Only the third team foul against Oklahoma State. Jumps off. Jumps in. Skies for the rebound.
Well, Price got an open look. Good underneath out of bounds play.
Toward the hoop and the turnover. Johnson will jam it home.
Oh, a power. Outstanding on the defensive end all night long, Nolan Johnson. And this one had some power to it. Look at the defense. Double team down low. Williams cannot handle it. Oh.
Williams with his second foul. So Johnson now with 11, the only player in double figures for the Sooners. Price has got 8, 9 for Nahara. Boy, Nahara scored around the 18-minute mark. He hasn't scored again in the second half.
Cowboys not giving him many looks.
In and out, and it stayed out. 10-point ball game. Raymond.
Yeah, the second open jump shot that the Sooners have had in the last 3 possessions, not able to knock it home.
Williams left all alone underneath, fumbled the ball for a moment. 4 fouls on Avila now. Cowboys quickly off the bench.
Cowboys able to find the open man, Andre Williams.
He catches that clean.
Yeah.
Got to easy too, and Avila is saying, and I wouldn't have my 4th foul.
Well, one of those guys that plays way above the rim is young Mr. Williams.
Gets the first one to go down.
Andre Williams, a freshman. Averages about 1.5 shots blocked per game. Good shot blocker, good leaper, plays way above the rim. Crowd favorite.
Oh, got him both.
And good shooter's touch.
Well, the last 8 points for Oklahoma State have come at the free throw line. Johnson got it to go, and he was fouled.
Ron, you hit the first half, talked about the first half, the value of Nolan Johnson to Kelvin Sampson's ball club. Early in the season, did not look to score a lot. Last 5 or 6 ball games now averaging 12.5, 13 points a game, and becoming more of a force on the offensive end. Off the dribble, away from the ball, and look at the reaction Kelvin Sampson has.
What makes it difficult for the opposing coach is just what you said, the dribble drive, the dribble penetration that he gives you, plus the fact he can hit the outside set shot.
Yeah. The ability, too, he's strong enough to hang in the air, draw the contact, finish plays.
Strong he is, and getting stronger as the season goes on.
Now, what Desmond has to do, he has to answer with an aggressive move.
Amazing what a good pass. John Gien wasn't ready for that one, and Johnson at the other end, in and out, wouldn't stay.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Sooner sideline.
Alexander for 3. John Gien with a good, tough rebound.
This Cowboy team has been a little lethargic on the offensive end, though they have a 9-point lead. You mentioned all of them last 8 from the foul line.
Shot clock is about to hit 10. Atkins, he
got away with
the
push.
left hand.
He got away with a stiff arm. I mean, and that was a big push. That wasn't even close. Still converted the basket, though.
Nahara talking to Kerry Sitton, and he is telling him that he pushed off. And in fact, that's what Coach Sampson is saying to Wally Tanner down at this end.
A pretty good defense by the freshman Price. Now watch the arm. I mean, there's a pretty good shove. That's noticeable by most people in the arena.
Then Price went down and he got stepped on when the rebound was fought for.
And it would be different if Hollis was about 200 pounds. He's about 165.
Johnson.
Boy, they are just, and they're just clearing it out for him. He's almost going like on a 1-4 low set.
16 points. 7 for 11. That you see her at church or wherever and wish her a happy 90th. Eddie obviously would have been up there today, but because of this ball game tonight, he couldn't. But he said, whatever you do, Burl Sutton, tell her I love her and happy birthday.
And she probably watches all the games and still advises him on how to coach. Wouldn't you suppose, Ron?
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, that's mom's right, isn't it?
That's exactly right. Sooners went to a 2-3 zone defense and were rewarded by Gottlieb's missed jump shot.
Boy, they leave him alone in the corner, and Newton buries it. That's exactly what John Sunbull said a moment ago. You don't get on him, he makes you pay.
Well, he really will, and a good solid offensive set by the Sooner Ball Club. Good screen down low, and Kelly Newton, one of those spot-up catch and release type players.
I tell you, this is a gutsy return for Oklahoma. They were down by 13, and in this building, many times that is a death situation, and they have cut it back to a 6-point ball game.
And the Cowboys are going to make a living tonight on that foul line.
Mason will go to the line. The Cowboys have an interesting situation. They're going to be in the NCAA tournament. 4 seed probably, maybe a 3 seed. John, next week they start tearing the seats out of this old arena. They're going to have to work out at Stillwater High School or someplace else. They can't work out in their own gym for the NCAA tournament.
Well, I think that'll be okay because you're going to neutral sites anyway. Once everything's set, then you get to that site in practice.
Good look at the old arena, built in 1938. The new arena, folks, is being built around this existing structure. We're like in a giant cocoon, and they will add almost 7,000 new seats in here, bringing it to like 13,500.
Well, you hear about it, but surprising when you drive up and you see that they're building this building, as you said, around this one.
So let's take a break. 7:19 left. Some kind of celebration. The family is here to be with their youngsters. Alexander, there's Joe Atkins and his mom. Doug Gottlieb and his family. That's his fiance to the left. And this hug right here went on for about 45 seconds. And the love of a father, well, you want to know, look at his dad's eyes. Desmond Mason and Mr. Mason.
Special night. You don't want to leave with a loss of.
Nope, and particularly when it comes to an arch rival like this one in the Bedlam series. Gottlieb with the foul as he knocked it away from Price. His second and the team's 6th.
Now you take a look at the 7 seniors. This ball club, 82% of the scoring. Obviously, Eddie Sutton will have a whole new group next year.
You know what he told me today? It's a shoot-around as Price puts up a 3 and gets it. Boy, 5-point ball game, just under 7 minutes to play.
The Sooners are a team they wish they had about 40 timeouts because every time they come out of a timeout, they get a basket. They're efficient, they run good screens, they get good shots.
Renzai Stone with the block there. Montanati with 4 fouls about to check back in.
And OU can put a lot of heat on the Cowboys. They can knock one in here.
Gottlieb with the foul. 3 on him now.
Solid screen and free up the jump shooters. Hollis, Price, nothing but the bottom of that twine, and 11 points on the night. continues his strong, solid play through the Big 12 season.
1-1, the 7th team foul. No, but the story I was going to tell you about Coach Sutton, I said, you got 7 seniors, you can't start them all. And he said, you know, if we were not playing an arch rival in such a big game as this one here tonight, I'd start 7, get 2 technical fouls, and then we'd get down to play.
Well, the only guy that's taken 4 teams to the NCAA tournament. Creighton, Arkansas, Kentucky.
Starred here in college.
Yes, he did.
One of the biggest games of his career.
Final Four at Arkansas, Final Four at Oklahoma State.
Right. Beat Wilt Chamberlain in Kansas right here in this arena. Had 18 in that ball game when he was a student. Plenty of time on the shot clock, and Stone has just picked up the foul. He's saying I got an earful of his elbow. But 4 fouls now on Rinzai Stone.
Good high-low action. Mason up top. Weber with a solid pin down low. Take a look out top, and there's the elbow coming across. And there's another one just to friendly love tap between rivals.
Let me tell you something. You don't get that kind of treatment in football. He got him from both sides. I'm not sure a face mask would have stopped that.
Renzai's wondering what's going on here.
Wow.
He got hit once and then running back. I think I'll get out of the way, and then he got another pop.
And for everybody that thought he was acting, when you see that replay, it's one of those things of get your foot stepped on and the coach would step on the other. Say, no, it doesn't hurt, does it?
Well, Weber misses both. 3 ties this game up.
About to go under 6 minutes to play. Newton for 3. We are tied.
Oh, a young man can flat out stroke it.
Newton now with 9, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Montanati. 4 fouls against 3 fouls. And he threw it away to Avila.
The difference, Ron, right now offensively, Oklahoma getting things by the pass and a screen. Oklahoma State trying to do everything off the dribble. Almost a 1-4 low. They're going to let Johnson go at Mason.
13-2 run by the Sooners. Johnson. I'll tell you, he has owned this house the second half.
Yeah. Offensively and defensively.
He's got 12 second half points, and he's shooting 66%, which is what he averages in conference, about 64 in that vicinity.
And then mention on the other end, he has shut down Desmond Mason. Difficult to do that.
Desmond Mason 0 for 7 from the field.
And Desmond has quit being aggressive with the ball. Once he catches it, he's giving it up too easily. He's got to make a move.
Puts up a long 3, and it's 1 and out again for Oklahoma State.
Watch for Kelly Newton off the screens.
Johnson.
Why not? Why not?
Timeout called by Eddie Sutton. And we're going to hold it right here. It's a 4-point Oklahoma lead. They were down by 13 points earlier in this half.
Well, it's been Boomer Sooner in the last 5 minutes. And Kelly Newton has been a big part of it, as has Nolan Johnson. And Kelly, when he comes off a screen, he just looks to shoot it, and he has been on a roll. But you see the bench reaction? And then Nolan Johnson going to work. Simply one-on-one, the pull-up, fade away, Mason on him. Look at that reaction.
Oleg Restov on the bench there, and he was the one that was shadow boxing. Wonder how many hits.
A couple jabs, huh?
Wonder how many hits he got on his website after last Saturday's senior night down at Norman. As you look at Nolan Johnson, 20 points, 9 of 13, and this is a career high in points for him.
Well, his 20 points, Kelly Newton 9 points, his 3 3-pointers off the bench. All of a sudden, the Cowboys are really searching for something offensively.
Nice look to Montanati, and it is blocked inside. Kelly Newton came inside. Naharat couldn't block it because of the 3 fouls.
A terrific set, too, offensively. They got exactly where they wanted to. Montanati did not see Newton sneak up underneath.
Probably not thinking a man that much shorter could get up and block him because Newton only stands at 6'2". Montanati, of course, at 6'10".
And look at the patience offensively by the Sooner team. Now they'll go in more of a motion. They'll set a lot of screens.
Price, not there.
Not the shot they needed.
Atkins has had quite a dry spell. That's out of bounds off Avila. So let's take a break. 56-52 Sooners, and watch Newton with the defensive work inside. He gets the block.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Broadwing, a new kind of data and internet company, and by Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers.
Well, here is the situation. 4-point Oklahoma lead. 3:35 left in the ball game. Oklahoma State 14-0 in this building this year. Extremely hard to beat here. Their seniors have only lost 7 times in their career in this building.
Well, at times you get a false sense of security playing at home, especially because they've been blowing everybody out. Now this Oklahoma team has been through the wars, and we know they're mentally tough. They know how to win on the road. That's the first field goal since 7:42 for them. And now the Gallagher Ivory Arena kind of comes to life, seeing if they can get a stop defensively for their squad.
Avila against Montanati. Nothing is there. Newton falling away, and he'll swish it.
Well, what a performance by Kelly Newton.
Yeah, Newton and Johnson in the second half. Of course, the shooting, probably the other biggest thing. John, we were looking during the timeout. Oklahoma only has 3 second-half turnovers.
And shooting 62% from the field.
Atkins way off the mark, tipped out, and that's going to be off Gottlieb. Sports Center immediately following our game. Trey Wingo and Steve Levy. The upset of Stanford today, NCAA hoop rivalries and Raybork trade.
Pretty good return for Jaron Rush out of UCLA.
Yeah. On the road. They played that one on the farm. Avila, and that's going to stay. I thought for a moment Montanati had just picked up his 5th foul, but they say he knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, you're right. He's got 4. He allowed Avila really a clean break to the hoop and then kind of stuck his arm in there. Got to be careful.
4-point game. Oklahoma leads it 17 on the shot clock. Put on the line. It's going for 2, and it's not there. Weber out-battles Naharat.
Sooners again back defensively. Cowboys don't get anything early.
Boy, for the 2 stars in this ball game, Naharat 2 of 9 and Mason 0 of 8. Tough defense is designed to stop them both. Weber, can he save it? Gets it back to Mason. Shot clock is at 5. I don't know if he sees it or not. Desmond with the spin move. He ran over Avila, and it's turnover Oklahoma State.
Boy, solid on the defensive end. This Cowboy team has not been able to get good looks. Now Oklahoma slows it down. And this is where they are dangerous. Very good free throw shooting team. They're good in their half-court offensive sets. They should spread the floor and let Nolan Johnson go to work again.
A minute and 20 seconds left in this one. Sports Center coming up next. And a 5-second count against Nolan Johnson. Boy, what a really tough and bad mental error. I have to wonder how much longer Gottlieb stays in the game.
You know, it's interesting because he doesn't shoot the ball well. Glendon Alexander now may come in. Boy, what a pass there.
Atkins from Gottlieb.
That's why he's in a lot of times. That thing was right on the money through the whole defense. What an assist.
About to hit 60 seconds left in this one. 2-point Oklahoma lead. and a timeout called by Kelvin Sampson.
Doug Gottlieb, one of the top assist men in America again this year. Look at that. Chest pass by 3 Sooners. Right on the money for an easy basket. They have not had many easy looks the second half, and now they've got to come up with a defensive stop. But, Ron, I'll remind you, when Oklahoma comes out of a timeout, how efficient have they been at getting a good shot?
They have been outstanding, and that's a great point. They have listened to their coach and listened well. It seems like, as John said, once they break the huddle, they got them a good plan, and it has been performed to perfection in the second 20 minutes.
You've got Johnson, who's on a roll. You've got Newton, who's shooting the ball well, but you've always got to remember, if they're efficient running a play, Nahara may come off a screen, establish a low post. They pound it in there. He'll take it right to the rim.
Glendon Alexander checks in, replacing Gottlieb. Gottlieb is only a 43% free throw shooter. One minute left in our ball game.
Got Nahara on the side.
Nahara not there. Desmond Mason skies for the rebound, and here come the Cowboys. They can tie or go in front with a 3.
Well, spreading the floor a little bit. Now they need a good set. Alexander, terrific shooter. Atkins, a shooter. Mason has been quiet the whole evening.
And Coach Sutton wants a timeout. Calls it with 21 seconds on the shot clock.
30 seconds. They're going to draw something up, make sure they get a good look.
A reminder that SportsCenter coming up immediately following the ball game. As you look at the situation, Oklahoma with 2 timeouts, no more for Oklahoma State. 10 fouls on the Sooners, 7 on Oklahoma State, and the possession era goes with Oklahoma.
I wouldn't expect Mason to be bashful of making a play. I mean, he's a big-time player, big-time star. Has struggled tonight. But if he can get it off a screen and off the move and be aggressive with it, that will get him into some rhythm on taking a shot or taking it to the hole. 0 of 8 from the field, though.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
It's surprising.
You have to think that he has one bit of magic left for this senior night at least.
Yeah, you would think so. And Nolan Johnson, I assure you, will not give him much room.
Eddie Sutton let him break the huddle and then called him back one more time. 35.3 seconds on the game clock. 21 seconds on the shot clock.
Boy, look at Oklahoma and their shooting percentage in the second half. This is against the best defensive team in the conference, only giving up 38%.
And 46% by Oklahoma State is not bad, as you know.
Boy, Sooners have forced this Cowboy team away from hoop. Only 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Alexander dribbles toward the baseline, puts it up high. It's not there, on the floor, and Oklahoma's Johnson comes away with it, and a reach in by Desmond Mason with 15.3 seconds on the clock.
How tough is this Sooner basketball team mentally? Not only physically playing, but mentally to come into this building with all the emotion packed around this afternoon. Ron, you were in this Stillwater today. Take a look defensively. They force this Cowboy team away, and now Glendon Alexander has to create something on his own.
Johnson has a career-high 20 points and make it 21.
Nearly an 80% foul shooter. What a special game he has played.
Well, if he makes this one, it goes without saying that it is a 2-trip ball game for Eddie Sutton's ball club.
Gottlieb into the lineup to push the basketball in a hurry.
Cowboys 14-0 at home for the 99 and 2000 season. But that streak is on the line right now. Missed it. Oklahoma State. Here comes Gottlieb. 10 seconds left in the ball game.
And Gottlieb might be the only one that has an open look. He's got to eyeball it. Oh, they got an open one.
Alexander, not there. Avila with the rebound and 0.8 seconds left. And the Sooners with a 3-point lead and a foul. They will go to the free throw line. And without an absolute miracle, the streak will come to an end. And what will happen now is Texas will become a 2 seed. And Oklahoma State will be a 3 seed in the Big 8 or the Big, listen to me, the Big 12 tournament.
Actually, Oklahoma State goes to the 4 seed. They look at the screen down low. Gottlieb had 2 guys switch off, and Alexander got an open look and simply missed it. But if Oklahoma hangs on, which it looks like they will, and take a look at the reaction here, the miss, or disappointment, but what a win for Oklahoma if they hang on. They will go to a 3 seed. Oklahoma State drops to 4. And now Missouri, Kansas tomorrow. That game is for the jockeying of position of just who is 5 or 6. Both of these teams here tonight will not play on Thursday. In the Big 12 tournament, Kansas and Missouri both will play on Thursday.
Sports Center is coming up next. Immediately following this one, we have 0.8 seconds left. Rodney Suter, a senior out of Miami, Oklahoma, checks into the lineup for this last 0.8 seconds. He's, as I said, in his final ball game here as well.
Well, disappointment on that Cowboy bench senior night, but sometimes the reality is they've got to go back to work, get ready for the Big 12 tournament, and then on to better things in the NCAA tournament.
So Kelvin Sampson's team within a second of doing something that nobody has been able to do this season, and that's come into Stillwater and walk away with a victory.
And nobody's even been close to playing this team well in this building.
Nope, you're right. Not there. Clock starts, and this one is history. Oklahoma has upset Oklahoma State. Now, what a win.
What a huge victory from a mental standpoint for this Sooner team. They get ready for the both tournaments.
There is total quiet in this building and shock as the Oklahoma Sooners have come to town and knocked off the 11th ranked Cowboys of Oklahoma State. Our final score, Oklahoma 59, Oklahoma State 56. Coming up next is Sports Center. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Now for